doing, guys? I am quite excited because we're back. Well, I was just with you guys. We were just here last week. Wait a second. Am I hearing double? I'm hearing double. There. I had the live stream playing at the same time as I had my own feed going out. Okay, there. Now we have a single feed there going in my audio. How's everybody doing? So we were here last week. We were here last week with Matthias and Ludwig, and that was after we'd been off for like, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, where I was riding the Rona train. And I said to everybody at the end of the stream, I said, we're going to be back in 5 days. And here we are. It's 5 days later. I feel like we just parted ways was it Wednesday? No, it was Friday. Oh my, it was Friday, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Friday. That's why it feels like I was just here, because it was the last work day. We had a 3-day weekend here in the States while everybody celebrated the 4th of July. And from the sounds of it, last night blew up my entire neighborhood. We had a whole lot of fun fireworks going on in the neighborhood until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Can't say I loved it, but I have to just kind of roll with that. How's everybody, how is everybody else doing? Let me know how you guys are doing in the stream. How was anyone from the States? Let me know how your 4th was. Did you do anything cool? Did you play any gigs? I mean, we got musicians in the crowd. So like maybe some of you guys played a 4th of July gig. It's possible. I'll tell you, I have a gig today. I am going to be finishing up this live stream, and then I've got gear just, where is it? You can't see it. It's just off screen around that corner. I've got my amp and guitar and EQ and feedback eliminator, microphones, all that stuff. I got it all packed up by the door, ready to go to play a little outdoor gig. It's a 4-hour, 3 sets over 4 hours today. And that is going to be fun. If anybody doesn't play live, whoo boy, let me recommend it to you. I don't know, it's different for different people in terms of the type of music they produce and stuff, but here's the thing I came to love about performing live that I'll just share before we get to bringing on Yana, our artist. We do so much work inside the computer, and it's all really exacting work, because we know that what we're doing, generally speaking, we're saving it. It's for keeps, right? So we have to make sure that our grooves are perfectly in the pocket, and whether that means quantizing or applying groove templates or just doing multiple takes until we get the groove just right, perfect, for a human feel. We do all this exacting work. We tune vocals, and we comp vocals, and we layer different synths, and we do all sorts of wizardry with CB cables to come up with these layered sounds. We do all these things, and then we put it out into the world for people to sort of judge and for it to live forever as a representation of us. And when I started gigging again, I did when I was a teenager, but then I started gigging again 5 years ago or so. What happened was I came to realize that gigging is the antithesis of what we do as producers, and it feels so nice. It's like the music we're making isn't for keeps. It's just for the moment, and it's just to be shared with the people in the immediate vicinity. And once we're done, it's gone. It's just a memory. And all that stuff is actually really nice if you also make music that is the other thing, is for keeps, and it has to be perfect, and it represents you, and it's this really nice kind of like palate cleanser. So in a week where I'm doing a lot of music production, I will play a gig, and suddenly it's like, oh, this is just for the sheer love of playing music, which is actually really nice. I really like it. Just looking at the chat here, Seth Nitty, I didn't know you were in Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia as well, so there you go. A little hometown hello there. I grew up the first 18, 19 years in Philadelphia before I headed off for college, and haven't been back to live, but I've got family all through there, so I get back to Philly, and I really have to say I do love being from Philly. There's a certain thing, the certain Philly, I don't know what you call it, personality. People think we're rude. I think we're just honest, but yeah, I love being from Philly. So anyway, no 4th of July for you guys. You're in the UK. Well, you get Guy Fawkes Night. I think that's maybe the closest equivalent over there. So 15th sign, hello from Melbourne, Australia. Thanks for, I don't know what time it is there. Let us know, 15th sign, what time it is in Melbourne, because my sense is it's a weird time, or maybe it's like the evening, actually. It may not be that weird. It's just tomorrow and the evening or something weird like that. It might not be that weird. Anyway, how's everybody else doing? Hey all, Zomblin says, Calio, hey, everybody's saying hi. Okay, so everybody's settling in here. I think it's probably a good idea to bring on our guests. So I'll talk a little bit about what we're going to be talking about and kind of doing today. I don't know if anybody saw a video that came out on our channel about a week ago, but it was with a producer who you haven't seen before, an artist who you haven't seen. We'll get down to, we'll talk to her and find out her exact titles. Some people are persnickety about wanting to be seen as a producer, and some people are persnickety about not wanting to be seen as a producer because they're an artist. Some people just want to be seen as a musician. Some people just want to be seen. So we'll find out from her how she self-identifies. I think of her as an artist and a producer because from what I've seen of her, she certainly knows her stuff in terms of getting the right feeling, getting a song going, and kind of figuring out how to hear a sound and turn a sound into a song, which is not always an easy task to sort of see. In the seed of the sound itself, you can sometimes see the finished product or feel or hear the finished product in your head, and then you're off and chasing it. So if any one of you does that, I call you a producer, whether you do or not. But anyway, let's bring her on and have a little chit chat here. So guys, please help me in welcoming Yana Mahal to the live stream. Yana, you have arrived on the internet. How does it feel? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I messed it up already.
Oh no!
You don't even know what's been going on this end. It's been technical difficulties, and I just knocked over a water bottle this big and my coffee, which was in a wine glass, it shattered, and so the floor is really wet, and my
First of all, I have to say, I think I'm struck by the concept of coffee. Oh,
I have coffee all over my.
Oh my God! Are you? Now I'm looking out for your well-being. Are you adequately caffeinated though, or did you just lose?
I wish that I had not caffeinated myself.
Oh,
but
really?
I'm okay.
Okay. Well,
we had a really long. We talked about caffeine for like an hour.
Yeah. Guys, Yana and I got on a call over the weekend to kind of like set up the tech and stuff. And it was like, hi, nice to meet you. And then for like an hour, we were talking about really my caffeine addiction, like how messed up I am in my relationship with caffeine.
A pretty amazing like 3-hour podcast.
It really was.
Day. My cheeks were hurting from smiling. I was like, we should just post that.
We should have recorded it, you know? Yeah, that would have been the easy way to go about it. Well, you know, I
use all my charming anecdotes, so
I know
today's going to be really boring.
We're just going to sit in awkward silence now and just be like, so, yeah, I guess where'd you go to school? I don't know. I got nothing else. No, we're gonna have some fun today for sure. In fact, people are already saying hello. We've got Mo Grizzly. Hello from New Orleans. Mo, I gotta say, Mo Grizzly, if that ain't a New Orleans name, I mean, that is like...
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Music on the road, greetings from Hungary. All right, so
hey.
People all over the world. Seth Nitty, again, she's a triple threat. So I think that would probably be true. We'll get into what triple threats those are, what the threats are, and what the triple is. But I think you're probably right, Seth. Yeah, welcome, Yana. Mo Grizzly again. You're getting, I mean... It was inevitable. You're getting some compliments on the artwork, the skin art. That is, I gotta say, a serious undertaking you have there on you. How many hours and sittings does it take to pull off?
I think I stopped counting at around 300 hours. Oof. I was like actually making notes for a while because I was curious. But
oh my gosh, I've heard the shins are the most painful. Is that true?
I think it really depends on the person and where you hold tension, where you like have thicker fascia, because that's actually several times more painful than skin. And also just it really varies like centimeter to centimeter where you have more nerve endings.
Really?
So like all of the joints, I would say the armpits, the ribs. I don't have my front ribs yet, but my back ribs really suck.
Oh, right. Okay, right.
My whole butt
I don't have my front ribs.
horrible.
I was like, I thought you meant like as a medical condition. I don't have front ribs. I was like, oh no.
No, I got all my ribs. But I would say that my butt was the most painful one, and everyone's always surprised because they're like, oh, don't you have like fat cushion, and maybe I don't have enough fat cushion, or but I think that
should have carb loaded before that appointment,
Yeah, and it also depends like how much caffeine you've had and what you've been doing that week and how long you're sitting. I think the first like 3 to 4 hours is pretty chill, and then once you get past that point is when you realize like getting tattooed fucking sucks. How can I cuss?
Well, I have to say, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, I am a snow white dove when it comes to tattoos. I never got one, always wanted one, and I could probably sit on a therapy couch about this, because my thing with it is always, I can never, it's like a fear of commitment. It's like I can never figure out what would be the thing that I would want to be always with me. And I don't know if that says something about my ability to commit, or if it says something about that I don't hold enough things deeply important to me. I don't know, but
maybe you just don't want tattoos, though.
Well, but I do. You know what I have is with tattoos is I have this thing where all of my friends who have tattoos and like sleeves and stuff like that, I just love the look of it. From a macro level, from like if I could order off the shelf, give me the Yana Mahal, or give me the, like, I've got a friend Aaron who's got all these sleeves and stuff. It's like, give me the Aaron package. I'll take that. Looks great on him. I'll take that. And then if you go in on a micro level and you actually show like, okay, well, you want the Aaron package? Okay, that means you're gonna have like a wizard here. Do you want that? Like, oh no, I actually don't want no, that's the wizard. Okay, well then you're gonna have like a kind of a holly vine thing that ends with some dice. Do you want the? No, I don't want that.
I like how you're describing tattoos as like a sound pack.
Totally. Yeah, that. I guess that's sort of how I kind of come from that.
Kind of like flash sheets from back in the day. Everything used to be flash sheets.
Flash sheets.
You just go in and you pick what you want off the wall.
Is that how it was? It was that you would just literally off the wall kind of pick some stuff. Gotcha. Well, yeah, I think it's safe to say that I probably have missed the window for my full body suit.
So.
No?
My dad still wants to get tattooed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should do it then, I guess. Yeah, maybe I'll get one eventually. Oh, well, here, yeah, so some people are recommending Ryan needs a Reason logo tattoo. I mean, I could honestly, at this point, I could understand getting one of those, because it's been such a part of my life professionally, but also just, in terms of, the 10 years that I was or 15 years I was a propeller head guy before I was even working with them. So, you're right about that. Wait, who said that? I lost the thing already. Oh, here, Rhodes Dunlap. I tattooed myself the old Reason logo, and now you regret. Why? Because we changed the logo?
That's amazing. Now that's OG. That's way cooler.
That's way cooler. You got the cool old school logo. That's like, you can't, that's other people now would have to, if you saw someone with the old logo but like fresh ink, like real nice crisp borders, you'd know they were a poser. You got the real deal there. So anyway, so now we've got a whole side discussion. Zomblin, Ryan, how many people do you know with Reason tattoos? I have one behind my right ear. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Zomblin, let me tell you, send that.
Wow, 2 people with Reason tattoos just on this little stream thing?
There's a lot out there. I don't know the number, but I'll tell you, Zomblin, people at the office, if you send that to, like, I don't know what address, you can send it to support, really. If you send them a picture of that, they collect them, not like in a creepy way, but like in a, like, they love seeing them. And so there's like a little folder somewhere, the people have sent in their tattoos, and they keep them. And in fact, sometimes they even show them like in presentations when they're trying to explain how strongly people feel about Reason. That's like, there's nothing better to show, like not even brand loyalty. It's like it transcends brand loyalty. It's more like, this really close connection I think people have with their music software. So yeah. Oh man, now everybody's just telling me, Ryan, get the Reason logo for a tattoo. I think if I'm going by democracy, I guess that's what's happening after this live stream, Yana. I'm going and getting a Reason tattoo. I'll just get it right here on my forehead and really commit. So, well, listen, you are you're new to me, but you're new to the Reason community as well. And so I want to kind of, offer you our...
And semi-new to just the internet community in general as an artist, because I've been just hiding, working on my project for the last 7 years.
Yeah, you said something that kind of blew my mind, and I thought about it over the weekend after we did our tech setup, where you said something like, the video you did with us that came out last week, was like the first time the internet has heard you speak.
I think so. I mean, maybe in some of my friends' stories, but yeah, I don't generally talk into a camera like ever. So,
Which is, I have to say, somewhat refreshing in some ways for artists that are, there are artists who I feel like are almost more about their the cult of personality than they are about the music that they're making, and and so it's kind of nice in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it's like it's also nice to get to know the person behind the music. So
and it's time for that. Totally. I think that for me, I just feel like, okay, personality check. We got that covered. Like, we don't need to worry about that right now. That, like, let me just do my craft so people aren't like, oh, she's just,
Right. Yeah, that's the balance, right? It's like you don't want to just be like, oh, the TikTok, I mean, to use it in the most minimizing way. You don't want to just be like the TikTok girl that puts out dance videos and set to your music and it's people sort of then would look past the actual music. So it makes sense that you would actually almost hold back and be like, no, I'm going music first, artistry first.
And then, I think I even kind of got that a little from my friends, like, oh yeah, of course, like when I was like, okay, I'm going to take this really seriously. And yeah, so I've just been taking it really seriously. I had to put in my 10,000 plus hours,
right?
16 hours a day in a basement.
Well, you said 7 years you've been working on this particular project, which even that that language of this project. I mean, I'm gonna when I go back to I'm gonna go back to my teen years as a reference here. I was in bands and stuff, but I never considered the things I was doing as compartmentalized projects. It was always just Ryan is making music, and this is the continuum of Ryan making music. But I think it's interesting that you, and I've heard other artists, in a sort of modern era, you think of what you're doing as a project. It's more than just, because it's more than just music. It's the entirety of what you're putting out there. Could you give me a little bit of insight into what is, when you say this project, what it is that this project is?
Okay. Well,
I mean, is it a solo record basically? Is it a yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is it you had a collection of songs and they eventually were like, oh, wait, this all belongs together as part of a project?
Yeah, I think that, okay, there's so many ways to answer this. So this project, being the Yana Mahal project, which is the third name in this development, is essentially the project, I guess, that most represents me. I used to think of it as like a caricature of myself, and now I think it kind of just is me. And I think that when I approach making music, I'm like what you said, in that I'm just making.
Yeah.
And then once it comes into fruition, then it's clear to me, okay, I want this for my project, or no, this is going to be something else.
I see. So it's, yeah, so you're always creating a variety of things. Some things might apply to the Yana Mahal kind of framework, and then other things, if you suddenly made a Russian folk song, like, cool, but maybe not.
And anything could. I think right. That's part of what is kind of cool about my voice, even though I'm not a good singer.
Come on now.
But what's cool is that you believe me because I mean it. I'm genuine,
right.
And that it is unique in a way that actually used to make me really uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
When I first started recording, because I was like, what is this?
What, in terms of your voice?
Yeah.
Really? I'm trying to, while we're talking, I'm going to see if I can pull this up real quick. I have, if people don't know, so the first time people would have heard you in the Reason community was when another producer, Jordan Atkins-Loria, was part of this BVX vocoder challenge that we did. And he brought you in basically to top line the song he was doing. And anyone who didn't hear that song and has been just hearing us talk right now, I'm going to play a little snippet of that song first because this is how I first got to know you and your voice. Let's check this out. Oh, wait. I think I have to do this. Hang on a second. I'm going to play it. Open with QuickTime. I wasn't planning on playing this, but it came up now, so I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to jump into the middle of the song somewhere. Oh, wait. Oh, no, wait. That's the vocoder only part. Hang on. Wait. That wouldn't show your voice at all. It'll show the exact opposite of your voice. Okay, let's check this out.
Something's glowing from inside me. Yeah, I'm shining brightly. That shit inside me. Like, what am I? Like, you want that shit on time? Yeah, on my muffin island. You would pay the price. Yeah, on my muffin island. All my shit is timeless.
Now, let me just say, your singing voice is awesome, but I was surprised because we hadn't talked until this weekend. So I don't think I'm blowing anyone's mind by saying there's a big difference between your singing voice and your speaking voice. You know, they are really different. And so there was this great moment in the raw footage that Jordan sent me. He's got you recording, you know, and you're doing your oh my muffin island. You're doing your like thing. It's like aggressive and like you really like in the footage when people watch that, like you're like, you know, when people say spit and fire, like it really is like intensity coming out of your whole body as you're performing. And then you finish the take, and I don't think this is in the video, but I think in the raw footage you finish the take and then you like look over at Jordan and you go, yeah, like in this like really kind of like. Oh my muffin nut, yeah. It's like such a weird like record needle drag sort of thing. When I was like, oh wow, okay, it's an awesome voice.
So did you saw me when you heard me, or did you hear me first? I was curious, like what you would picture.
Yes, I heard you first.
Did you have any? Did you see a guy?
I didn't see a guy.
Sometimes I've played my friends' music and they're like, who's that man on your
I think actually wait
like no that's me. They're like, did you pitch it down? I'm like, no that's just how I sing.
Yeah, I think someone at Reason Studios we were talking and they made some sort of reference to like the guy on his track or something, and I did have to go like, oh no
yeah. No, that's common.
I might
with people who I've worked with before will be like, did you push this down? Like,
yeah,
no.
It does. It sounds like you pushed that. It also sounds like it's kind of like tuned, but it's like if I listen not critically, if I just listen very passively, it sounds like it's like got kind of that heavy quantized tuning on it. But then when you actually listen, you go like, no, there's none of that like sort of like squirreliness in an actual tuned vocal. It's just you sort of have this really like spot on pitch where you just like really hit those, and when you do these melodies, there's like if you do a melody that goes down, it really feels like a stepped thing. It's not like there's not a lot of slides and glides that kind of make it all squishy.
Well, some of us aren't naturally talented in the vocal department, so we just have to really work for it.
No,
and that's what I've been doing instead of posting on the internet.
I will not allow you to be modest about your voice. It's awesome.
Oh, you should have heard me when I started.
You know, it's funny you say that because okay, now I'm going to flip it and talk about my own singing for a second because I don't consider myself a singer at all. I hate my voice, yada, yada, yada. That being said, what I was saying at the top of the stream, I do have a gig later today where I am going to be singing, you know, live in front of people for 4 hours. And what I came to, and maybe it sounds like you might have come upon a similar thing of like, there's this self-critical self-awareness about your voice that you clearly have. And then you had to get over it. And I'm not sure how you got over it, but the way that I got over it was when I would start singing, I would say to myself, okay, sure, I get it. I don't have a good voice, but I'm going to do an impression of someone who thinks they have a good voice. Like I'm just going to like pretend that I'm someone who likes their voice. And that actually like really helped me get over, because a lot of what I don't like in my voice is the insecurity of not liking my voice. If I just drop that, then it's like, you know, there's moments where I can actually go, oh, okay, that's all right. So,
that's a good strategy.
Well, how was it for you? How did you?
So I have something similar like that, where I just imagine that I'm talking to somebody.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm just living it in that moment, like acting. But I just embody that, so I don't have time to. I'm just in that. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And then the other thing that I do is I just don't listen to my own stuff. When I feel insecure, I just don't listen to any music at all.
What?
Sometimes I'll make a song and I'm so excited the first day, and then I'll listen to it the next day and I'm like, no. And then I don't listen to it for like a month, and then I hear it and I'm like, whoa, this is epic.
Oh, interesting. It's a cycle. There's God, I wish I could pull it up really quick. There's this really amazing image that someone worked it out at some point, and it's referred to as the creative process. I'm going to paraphrase it, and I'm going to totally blow it. But it's like the 7 stages, like the 7 stages of grief, of like denial, bargaining, acceptance, anger, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. There's like the 7 stages of creativity, and it's things like this. I don't know what I'm doing. This might be cool. This is amazing. Maybe this isn't amazing.
Myself.
This is terrible. But then it does kind of come back around to like, this is actually okay. So that's exactly what you're describing.
If you don't sometimes feel like you don't deserve to exist, then you're probably not a very genuine artist.
It's funny. That's a sad reality that you're probably spot on with. That actors and musicians are their worst critics, and I think
good, yeah.
If they're good, and that's true. Actually, yeah, it's the people who are like, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
You got to worry about those people.
You don't want to love your voice. Yeah, you don't want to hang out with those kinds of people anyway.
That's true. Well, listen, for what it's worth, I'm just going to throw them up on the screen again because Octarine Drift says, amazing voice, Yana. And I think I got it up there. Invasion says she got a dope voice. So, I know that it's hard for us to internalize our own voices, but take those on. Let them speak for you instead of your own self-critic. But here's another comment about voices here. Go ahead. Seth Nitty says, the way the industry is now, you don't need a great voice anyway. You just got to look like an artist. The engineer's going to make you sound great. That's somewhat true, Seth. That's not. There's. I could make the case both ways on that one. There's that's certainly and I don't mean this as a critique of you, Seth, but that certainly is kind of the cynical take. And sometimes that cynical take is spot on. And then there's times where, I'll see artists and I'll go, you know what? That artist has a great voice and they deserve to be getting the recognition they do. You can see through, and I think we as an audience, as listeners, can see through the people who don't have talent but got propped up versus the people who do have talent and sort of pulled themselves up through the undeniable talent. So
yeah, and there's different ways to connect, and everyone's gonna feel differently about what they connect with about an artist. I think usually people are looking for at least some aspect of vulnerability, because that allows for if it's just walled, there's not going to be that connection. But
right.
I think that it's important to note that it's not easy to just be a front person. I've been kind of in a lot of circles in the industry for a while, and I have so much respect for people who are just like, I'm going to put my face on this and I'm going to own it. Like, even if they don't even write it, like they don't write the melodies, they don't write the words, it takes a special kind of person to make that work. That's not an easy thing. People might think it is, but it's not.
Right. That's 100% true. So when
everyone could do it.
Exactly. There's nothing I love more than when people critique someone's music. Like, I shouldn't admit this. I'm going to admit it on the live stream here. When people critique someone's music or someone in a video that we might post and stuff, I derive a certain amount of, like, I don't know what you call it, schadenfreude joy out of following back to that person's social media accounts and be like, all right, tough guy, let's see what you do. How much music are you putting out there? What's the quality of what you're doing? And I'm not going to lie. A lot of times you end up on YouTube channels that says this channel has no content, or you end up on, Instagram feeds that have no music posted. And so, yeah, there's, if everyone, otherwise everyone could be doing this is absolutely a truth. Sharpson says, preach, Yana. Yes, I agree. So listen, you're getting into writing, getting into like songwriting and sort of, I guess, this project as we call it of Yana Mahal. What did lead to that? What led you to, I guess, go from being someone who obviously liked music, obviously had a visceral even love for music, but to someone who actually was creating music?
Well,
Simple question, probably hard answer.
No, creating in what sense though? Because I'm thinking, where did I start doing that? I went to a magnet school in Berkeley for elementary school that my dad taught at actually, and it was very art focused, so it was the only school I ever like truly loved.
Right,
we had
cool. Sounds awesome.
West African dance and chorus, and we did visual art, and we had percussion. I loved playing like snares, and it was cool. It was very fun. So, and then I started playing clarinet when I was like 9.
Cool.
And then when I was 10, I started playing guitar. And that's when I started first writing, just songwriting. And because I didn't have something in my mouth, I guess. So.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a leap, though, I think. I think actually go into the vocal. I mean, I know this as in my own music making that there is learning, going from clarinet to guitar or drums to clarinet, like those are kind of incremental, like I'm exploring musicality and I'm trying different instruments and this is kind of fun. And in doing that, in the clarinet, if you move from drums to clarinet, you're exploring melody, and then you move from clarinet to guitar, now you're exploring harmony, and that's, there's a lot of incremental development there. But when you go to vocals and lyrics, writing lyrics, that is a quantum leap in terms of, I think the way I see it, the skill you need to have and a little bit of the confidence you need to have, or the audacity of it to really be like, I have something to say. You do know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think that for me, I'm actually the opposite. I am more confident, or I don't know if that's still the case, but I would definitely say that I'm naturally talented with words, writing, and even like top lining more so than musically.
Right.
Which is why when I write now, I think the one of the main reasons I got so much better than I once was is I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. So where I start is generally, unless it just comes all as one, I start with the vocal melody and then I fill in the words, because I find that if I write the words like with it or first, I get really attached to like, no, this is what I'm trying to say. And I can't hear like, actually there could be a better part here.
That's interesting. I'm speaking to you as a fledgling failed songwriter, but as one, as a very good failed songwriter who has nursed a 10-year-long writer's block that's doing great. What I think that's one of the traps I fall into is that once I manage to fit any kind of lyric into a melody, like I can write melodies all day long, but fitting words into a melody that actually says something vaguely okay for me, enough for me to kind of represent it in the song. Once I get anything in that space, I'm so precious about like, I can't, it took me 9 months to get that one verse. I can't like write something else instead. Like, I mean, it'll be forever. So that's cool that
if you have, like top line melodies that need words, I got you.
Oh man. All right.
If you like my words, that is. There's no pressure.
No, I can tell you, even having only heard a small portion of your music, your words already are far beyond me. So you guys heard it here first. This is the Yana Mahal collab project that is
Oh, I like that.
kicking off here. So yeah, we should talk a little bit. I mean, and really we should talk and look a little bit about some of the music you've actually made rather than just being entirely theoretical. But in terms of talking about tools and the tools with which you make music, you are within the Reason community, you're a new type of producer for us. And when I say us, I mean us old school Reason legacy guys that have been around since version 1.0. A lot of us, and particularly in the last 10 years, actually, once Reason really was a DAW and had its ability to record audio and do everything inside of Reason, that's what we all did, the us people. And so when we made music, it was all Reason instruments. It was all Reason effects. It was the Reason mixer. It was the Reason sequencer and the features of Reason that made that song. And so when we talk to artists, certainly like on a Reason Livestream, if we were to talk to a Reason artist, what we're talking to them about is how Reason is the entirety of their creative universe. Then we came out with the Reason Rack plugin. And the Reason Rack plugin suddenly lets Reason run in any DAW and run as a plugin, a collection, a single instrument or a collection of instruments within that DAW. And what has been interesting to me to talk to people like you who are one of those is that Reason is just one of the tools that you use. It's not the entirety of your world. And that's, I'm sort of, as one of the us guys, the legacy guys, I'm sort of fascinated with the kind of the open prairie that you operate on, where you could choose anything and yet you still reach for Reason, or you sort of have a collection of tools that you reach for on the regular. And that's kind of what brings us together today, because you are talking, the music you make, two of the things you often reach for are Reason and arcade. Mm-hmm. And we just happen to partner up with Output to bundle those two together because you're not alone. That's a very common pairing. But I wonder, maybe before I'd love to pop open some tunes and look at some of the stuff that you've done in live, which is live. That's your DAW of choice. But before we do, I wonder if we could just chat a little bit about sort of what it is about those tools in a world where you could use any plugin. What is it about arcade? Well, let's start with arcade, I guess. That it makes it something that you actually do kind of gravitate to in your creative process.
Because it's so easy. It's so easy to get something that sounds amazing right away, and it keeps me in the flow, because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, don't anybody get it twisted. I don't know what I'm doing at all. I'm just making things, and so it allows me to, because I'm not a sound designer. I'm trying to make songs. So right. I'm looking for a feeling. I don't understand how any of this works. And I wouldn't say I'm good at it. I am good at making songs. And so both of these plugins allow me to do it in a way where I don't have to think about like, this is sounding flat or blah. It gets me to the feeling, and then that feeling gets me the song. I mean, that's the seed of it. The vibration is there, and then I just like hope that I am receptive enough that something comes through me, because that's the only time it's ever really good.
Right.
Is when it's not you who's doing it.
That is really, I mean, there is, your focus is about the song, and I know that there's so many different types of people and producers that work in different ways. Some people are about sort of starting with the boulder at the bottom of the hill and pushing it all the way up the hill to like, I created all this from scratch, and it's my own concept in terms of sound design and all these little innovative tricks that I've come up with that are unique to myself, and that's the type of producer some people are. And others are people like yourself who are just very concerned with the song and the inspiration that a sound might bring about, but they want to kind of start with the inspiration. They want the inspiration to kind of get them started rather than having to get themselves to the starting line before they even get the inspiration, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gotta do, now hang on a second. Yana, I'm gonna take a quick minute here. I have to make everybody feel okay. Everybody watching, we're just gonna have, in fact, I'm gonna switch one-on-one camera. We're gonna have a heart-to-heart here, okay? I said some phrases that people are picking up in the comments and they're running with and they're speculating, and I got to make you all feel okay. So let's see. And apparently I said something about when Reason was a DAW, and now people, was a DAW, past tense. What is he talking about? And Rushdown Music, it's all about the plugin now. All right, guys, listen. I I can't stress this enough. Reason is a DAW. Come on, we're not. I mean, are we? Listen, it's been. What has it been? 2 years now? Like 2.5 years? How long has the plugin been around now that we don't need to keep having this sort of triggered conversation of like, we're running away from the DAW, because we're not, because the DAW is still there. It still is a DAW, and I still use the DAW, and we just showed the DAW on Friday. So like, but this is the thing we have to understand. Other people who are plugin users, we're going to talk about the plugin. So if Yana is not a DAW user, a Reason standalone user, we're going to talk about how she uses it in live. And so like, just brace yourselves. Let's all put on our big boy pants and accept that there's a DAW and a plugin, and that's okay. And my whatever word I used I'm not making some sort of shadow announcement about the future of Reason. So, all right, are we cool? Are we good? All right. Okay, now we're going to jump back. All right. Hey, Yana. Oh, man. So, yeah.
Give me an opportunity to smoke.
Yeah, perfect. Hey,
No, I like how loyal all the Reason people are. I like how much they care.
I do too. Listen, I'm a Reason DAW user myself. So like, I'm like fully on board with their sentiment. And I think if I was in some ways, I guess, if I was outside of being connected with the Reason team, maybe I honestly would be a little more like freaked out the way sometimes people get. But it's like, because of all I know and how much I know the internal commitment and love for the DAW is there, it just doesn't freak me out. So anyway, Brian, all right, it feels like a telling off. I'm not telling you off. I'm just speaking my mind, Brian. Just want people to feel okay. That's all. I just don't want us to be worried about the Reason plugin during this entire stream. See, No Destination really gets it. You're the best. Well, I'm not looking for that, but
You are.
Now Lionel Thomas is trolling. He just announced Reason 13. That's right, Lionel. Reason, you heard it here first. Reason 13 has just been announced through whatever words you can parse. And Sharps says,
So-
Half-Life confirmed. Yeah, so anyway.
For me, in terms of the DAW, I just kind of, it's helpful to use something that like the people I'm working with are also using.
Sure.
Because like then you can pass it off, and it's really, it just makes it really easy. So I used to use Logic a lot.
And that's honestly, that's the truth about all DAWs, is like people.
All a means to an end, right?
The DAW people use most often is the DAW their friend was using when they asked them, hey, what should I use to make music? Or what could we make music together with? That's like the number one. When I talk to artists and I interview them and I talk about their origin story, it's like, it's almost never that the answer is, well, I decided I was going to choose a DAW, and I spent a week researching and creating spreadsheets of all the features and comparing them, and I selected. It's like, no, they just asked their buddy, or they went to like an after-school program, and they were using Cubase. Now I'm a Cubase user. Like, it's just, that's kind of how those things go. Which actually, in regards to the Reason plugin, has been kind of a really nice thing for me as a Reason evangelist, is that I want as many people using Reason as possible. I think Reason is the greatest way to, get amazing sounding instruments. I don't want to go into I'm going to sound like a marketing guy if I actually get all fanboy here, but I just want the biggest Reason community possible. And so when the plugin came about, to me, it was just like, oh, we have this whole new audience that we can talk with. And people like you who, frankly, wouldn't be using Reason at all were it not for the plugin. So I think it's just been great in that regard. And I think you would probably agree, it's been good for your music as well. So it's like it goes both ways, you know?
Absolutely. How long has it been a plugin?
2.5 years, I think, something like that. Yeah. I'm going to make a guess and say it was August of 2019 that we launched Reason 11, I think. I could be off on that. But
You're about to get corrected in the chat.
Yeah, they'll let me know for sure. They'll totally let me know. But, just a little housekeeping here. People have noticed no yellow mug. Guys, the yellow mug's in the other room. I got, you know what I did? And this will relate, you'll appreciate, but also maybe scorn me for this. When we were setting up our initial tech and talking about caffeine, I mentioned that I'd been off caffeine for a while, but for today, for the stream, I wanted a little bump, so I went and got a little caffeine.
Some drugs.
Some drugs. That's right. Oh man. Well, listen. We're talking in the theoretical. Maybe we should actually check out some stuff you've done and kind of talk about both, since we are kind of in this honeymoon window of celebrating the bundle, the coming together of Reason and Arcade. I thought it would make sense for us to look at some of the music you've done, which uses Reason and Arcade, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's
check out some stuff here. So I'll let you get your window situated. I'll just take a quick scan through. Astro Rex. So to get this straight, she's using Arcade and Reason as a plugin. That's correct, Astro. Yana is an artist who works in Ableton Live, and so she reaches for both of those as plugins in Ableton Live rather than, you can use Arcade as a plugin inside of Reason standalone as a DAW as well, but in her case, that's what she does.
Yeah, it's a little something different for you guys.
Totally. Okay, so Yana, why don't you pop that window up top there, and I'm going to switch over to your screen, and let's see what we got going on here. Can you set us up? What song is this that we're looking at?
All right, so this is called Cash Flow. It's
cool,
one
and
of the songs from my project.
Is this released yet, or is this? Are we getting a little preview?
No, nothing is released.
Nothing is released yet. So new. Look at this, guys. This is a Reason Livestream exclusive here.
Yeah.
Cool. Can we?
Yeah, y'all debuted my first songs, and I'm posting. I have a YouTube now. I'm posting my first video after this live stream, and you guys are gonna get a sneak peek of what we've been cooking.
Cool. Let's check it out. Let's give us a little taste.
All right.
That was hot.
Yeah. I don't really care about the cash flow. Money in my soul is an escrow. Words worth a billion, maybe much more. Scars on my soul, invaluable. Money. I don't give a fuck about the money. Money. All you motherfuckers look. 5 eggs for breakfast, I'm a rich man. Protein to help me go kill them. You gon' know it's by a trail of dead. Severed head on my leg. Money. I don't give a fuck about the money. Money. All you motherfuckers look.
If I got a penny, for each tear I cry, I'll be a rich woman. If I got a penny, for each tear I cry, I'll be a rich woman.
Credit score, break the law. Take 'em on a ride, headed to the mall. Terminal, criminal. Body in the bag, you the richest course. Yeah, work hard for the money. Bend down low, go far for the money. Yeah, go start that war for money. Men, they get so hard for money. Money. I don't give a fuck about the money. Money. motherfuckers look money. I don't give a fuck about the money. Money. All you motherfuckers look.
If I,
Yeah,
if I,
yeah,
if I,
Ah, Yana.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. So now, normally, I gotta tell you, when I do live streams and stuff like this, I almost never have the whole song play because I always get worried that, like, you know, the ADD crowd might be just, you know, they don't want to sit for 4 minutes and listen to something. But I couldn't stop that. I just wanted that one to keep going. I was in the song, you know. That is cool. And let me
Very
tell you,
cool.
I'm just gonna throw, since you probably don't have it up on your screen, I'm just gonna throw some of the kudos your way here. A few different comments, variations. Sean Murray, that bass. A lot of fire emojis going
Yeah,
on.
Reason.
I was at a Reason Bass. We'll dig into that. That's cool. And in fact, actually, another person, I thought this is an interesting comment. Sounds good. I'm still with the last track. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's not the one, but that is also a nice comment about you. Where was it? There was someone who had a comment about. Oh, here. Tokyo Trap says, I'm listening on laptop speakers and I can still hear that bass, which is actually that's a really great point. I mean, you know, anyone who has ever made a song that they think sounds amazing with their like deep sub 808 bass, and then they listen to it on their laptop and it's like, where the bass at?
Yo, Mimic, y'all. That's the best sounding sampler. Hashtag
go.
ad. No, for real though. It sounds incredible, right? That's just a bass sample inside of a Mimic.
I mean, that's cool. We'll check it out. I mean, I imagine.
Should we look at it?
Yeah, let's pop it up. In fact, we'll do it right now.
Okay.
Seth says she's a vibe. That's true. Sounds quite into face. You know what? There's something about the song that the song sounds nothing like Selena Gomez's "Bad Liar," but there's something. There's a similarity in the minimalism of it, and I think something I have to give you enormous credit for is holding back. It would have been so easy to layer this with a gazillion layers of synths and little effects and things that are happening, major like drums, like tons of drum layers, and like it's so easy to add. It's so hard to hold back, you know, and to edit out and to keep it minimal.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things I love about this beat is it's so simple, but it has a few little sparkles in it that just happen once. I'm about to show you. Like there's one bass variation right here. It only happens once. It's a few things that only happen once. But yeah, I mean, and it's a preset. I just turned up the drive a little.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit here on it. Basic Vibe. I love that it's called Basic Vibe. Because, yeah, like, oh my God, like, what a perfect description of what's happening. This song is like this basic vibe, but it's absolutely a vibe. My God. Cookie and Tune made a comment. He says, he almost read my comment. It was close. All right, Cookie and Tune, this is for you. I'm going to scroll back up and put it back on screen and read your comment. He says, sounds good. This is the song. I'm still with the last track on my head from Yana's last video. Yeah, you got to say, you write some earworms here, Yana. You know,
Thank you.
You know how to spit a hook out for sure. Cookie and Tune. But then he was like, oh, no, wait. No, sorry, Cookie and Tune. I was looking for a specific comment. Sorry, I passed you by. Ian says, less is more. I mean, I think this is a great example of a less is more. I often am a proponent of more is more and less is less. Less isn't actually often more, but sometimes less is more. And this is a great example of less is more. I think you really have put it together in a nice way. That bass, is there, can we hear just maybe from the top again?
Yeah. Do you want me to solo it?
Yeah, you want to solo it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just take a listen to that bass. Yeah. I mean, so I'm just going to this,
I lied, it's not a preset, sorry. But
oh, is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then here, I'm going to zoom in so people can sort of look at some of the settings here, and I'll just kind of geek out on them a little bit. One of the things I think is making the sound the way it does is there's that in the effects section, the little effects box in the lower right corner, the scream distortion is turned up about noon or something, and that's that scream distortion is I'll just from my own personal experience, Scream 4, our distortion, dedicated distortion effect, has one of its distortion types is called Scream. I almost never use it in the distortion itself. The same Scream distortion, when we put it into Mimic, I often use it, and so I'm not surprised to see that you've got it here. It's what's adding that little bit of if you play that bass again soloed, there's like some like noise. There's the initial bass note, boom, 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 but then there's this like even the thing that comes right after the note, like the gravel. That is courtesy of that Scream, and I think it's a really like that's the kind of thing where like if that weren't there, it would just sound like a Moog synthesizer bass. There's like it's that little bit that just makes it kind of more interesting. And I will just point out for people that were mentioning the reason this works on a laptop, that's also part of why this works on a laptop, because that's introducing upper harmonics, which are frequencies a laptop speaker can reproduce. So
I think that's important, and that's another one of the things that's so great about how accessible like these plugins make cool sounds, is that it's important that in this day and age things can sound good on a laptop and on the phone and in AirPods, because that's where most people are listening, other than in the car.
Gotcha. So there's some people that are solving the mystery of this being a preset or not a preset. What they say is that Basic Vibe is the default Mimic patch, but it's a different bass sample. So it's a modified, and this is true actually. I can't believe I didn't even recognize the name. So many of my presets are named on the default, like they bear no relation sometimes to the default sound, but the patch will still be named the default sound because I just load the device and then I start tweaking it. And so you are, Calio, you're correct. That is certainly what's going on. Oh, you know what, Michael, you've pointed out a good point. The Scream has the mix down, so that's not what's adding that little bit of grit. Maybe it's just the sample itself that's adding that grit. Good catch there, Michael. After I went on and on about the Scream and what a wonderful little element it adds, you're right, it's not part of that sound. Good catch, my wrong. I
think that what you're talking about, sorry, the drive being up, is what's doing that.
It is in the sample itself, basically, is what's going on. Michael pointed out, I think it's just a fire sample. I think that's true. It's just and the drive. Oh, right. Yes. So there's a little bit of drive. Good point, actually. A little bit of drive in the filter, which is, probably adding a little bit of that. Not quite the same as like a straight up distortion, but you're absolutely right, Yana.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you got between you and
I'll
Michael.
I'll just play it. You explain it.
You and Michael have schooled me. You are both correct, and I am both wrong. So, well done. It takes a village to appreciate a bass sound. That's what I've learned here.
Hear the variation? Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just Rushdown also picked up on it. You're right, Rushdown. You are right. You're right. We figured it out. Let's check out the variation. Yeah, what's the variation?
Okay, so the variation is just the same thing, but with some. Wait, sorry. Let me open this up. Cha.
Pralaya says, "Let her smoke for a while, Ryan." Hey, no.
Yes.
There is no prohibition. You don't have to do. You don't have to. Be off camera. Be discreet. You smoke up if you want. I don't care.
Well, I just heard that like they kind of stopped there's something with the algorithm.
Oh, is it a YouTube thing? Oh, okay. Oh, I take it back.
I don't know if that's
okay. Well,
true.
Then we don't do such.
We want people to see this, right?
No, we are good, clean, straight edge folk here. Yes, exactly. We don't want to get shut down. Good call.
Okay, so this is just like it's duplicated, and I changed the stretch type to granular. I don't know what that means, but it gave it a cool little.
Let's check it out.
Thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it really is sort of, when you stretch or when you sort of granularize a sample, it's actually, we can look and see that the speed is not actually adjusted. So what we're doing is we're taking the sample it's being chopped up into individual little grains of audio. And typically what that's being done for is to then stretch it so that the grains get more spaced out. In this case,
Yeah, that makes
the
sense.
grains aren't being spaced out. The speed stays the same. So you don't have the stretched grain effect, but what you still have is that sort of like packet. The bass has been divided into these little grain packets, and you can hear it. Play it again. It's just got a little more. I always wish I knew the right word to describe this with.
Play it with this.
It just sounds granular.
I'll
Yeah,
play
Michael.
in the...
Michael says nasty. Yeah, it does. It has just a little bit more nasty. And Ian says true. Yeah, you can hear the grains. Right, exactly. You can hear the grains. And both of these things, you know, the drive control on the previous one that we talked about, and the granular stretch type on this one. It's what's nice about it is it's not like hit you in the face kind of effect. It's not like you radically changed the sound. It's just a little bit of a, you know, different timbre, however that word is pronounced. It just sounds just a little different, enough to like capture the ear's attention. So that's pretty cool. 15th Sign says it sounds like an FM bass. It does kind of have, that's a good observation. It kind of gives it a little bit of an FM kind of sound, which sort of makes sense when you really kind of dig into what makes frequency modulation work the way it does. It's not the same as granularizing. That is not the way that word is pronounced. But it's there's a similar DNA in the sound, so I totally get that. Stephen McWilliams says, just joined. Can I have a taste of the track? You know, can we? I just want to hear it again too. Can we have a little taste as we kind of close out of the bass and maybe check out some other stuff? But we can unsolo the bass and let's play a little bit. Can we start maybe, I don't know, kind of where the first verse might kick in or something?
Yeah.
5, 8.
This is the second verse, but
That's
should
fine.
we start there?
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't really care about the cash flow. Money in my soul is an escrow.
This is for you,
Words
Stephen.
worth a billion,
Catching up.
maybe much more. Scars on my soul.
is for you,
and I
Stephen.
grow. Money. I don't give a fuck about the money. Money. All you motherfuckers look. 5 eggs for breakfast, I'm a rich man. Protein to help me go kill them. You gon' know it's by a trail of death. Severed head on my leg. Money. I don't give a fuck about the money. All you motherfuckers look.
If I
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, cool. Here we go. Stephen, this is the track we're talking about. What is the name of the track? It's called Cash Flow? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's God, it's a really cool, like I'm struck by it again now that I've heard it again. The sort of the restraint, the minimalism of like there's, you know what it's like? Okay, I'm gonna draw a metaphor here. It feels like there's all this tension. It's like a spring, and you've like pulled the spring back, and like there's all this tension, and it's like ready to like explode, but it doesn't ever really like totally blow out. And
Are you talking about me or the track? No.
maybe your mindset when you're writing it. No, the track, it sort of has all this like energy that is like, but there's like a lid on it in a cool way. It's sort of like holding it down from like letting it run away, and I sort of like that. You know, almost it's not just restraint in the production, but it's like in the experience of listening to it. It's like you start feeling this like pent up energy. It's cool.
You get away with words, Ryan. I'm surprised that you struggle with words. Maybe it's just a belief.
I'm telling you, Yana, this is my great frustration: is that I write words for a living, and then when I go to write a song, I can't write words. It drives me nuts. But that's my own problem. I'll solve that eventually myself.
Is it something about the permanence, like what you were saying about
Yeah, I think
tattoos?
so. I think so. And I think it's, yes, right. Oh, look at you going full circle. It is. It's the same reason I don't have tattoos. I should get a tattoo and see if it helps me write lyrics. That's what I should do. See if I can break the cycle. My God. Ian wants to know, where can I buy this? Is this, I think the answer is nowhere yet, right? Is that true, Yana?
What, the song?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, the plugins?
Discreetly
The
leaning.
plugins?
Discreetly leaning. Okay. Yeah.
No, nothing's dropped officially yet. No, this is the start of it, y'all. Everyone's here for the beginning.
There you go. But so let's maybe the easier question of not where can I buy this, but where can I follow you, or where can I kind of stay in touch with what's next, or when this stuff does start getting released on Spotify and whatnot?
Yeah. For right now, I'm basically just using Instagram, and I had a problem. I tried to lock down a new handle, and then they have this 2-week thing. So it's still my old. It's still Ariana Valentina, and but I have a new YouTube. And
Cool.
I said earlier, I'm about to drop my first video right after this, and that's just Yana Mahal.
Cool. So youtube.com/Yana Mahal. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I think so. Yeah.
Here I'm going to jump to our, just so people know the Yana Mahal spelling. I'm jumping to our 2-shot so people can see how Yana Mahal is written. Cool. So yeah. So Ian, you can after this video drops, like she said, there's going to be, I guess, your first video is going to be up on YouTube, so you can go there, subscribe to her channel, and eventually, once you get the Instagram handle stuff sorted out too, people can jump over there too as well. Brian Dunk says, I could listen to the song and repeat for the next hour. I agree. There is something that's another element to this, is that by being restrained and sort of tasteful in just how everything is doing exactly what it should be doing, but there's nothing doing something that shouldn't be there, if that makes sense. Because of that, the other payoff is that it's actually highly repeatable. You don't fatigue from listening to it. Whereas, I don't, not to throw them under the bus, but if you listen to an Imagine Dragons song, there's a bajillion things going on, and you listen to that 2 or 3 times, and your ears kind of go all right, time for something, a little more simple, because it literally is fatigue. It's just like a ton of stuff coming at you. To say nothing of Imagine Dragons, I'm sure they're very nice, talented people. But anyway, so let's see what else is going on here, because I imagine you've got some other Reason stuff in here. You probably got Arcade sitting in here as well too, right?
Yeah, we got I think just Arcade in this one. So in this channel, I'll make sure nothing's soloed. Let's open this up, and we will loop this. And I was just looking for some cool atmosphere. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. This is why I need to sleep more than 3 hours, y'all. Sorry. Loop that. Okay. Get it together, Yana. All right, I guess this is the Goldberg machine pack.
Okay.
And I'll just play it.
So really
Congo.
Right, okay. So just some percussive elements.
Mm-hmm.
Both kind of with a nice lo-fi. I mean, the thing that Congo, which sounds nice to me, is it almost sounds like a tom-tom drum. It's reminding me in my teen years, I didn't know how to tune a drum set at all, but I was trying to learn. So my dad played drums, and I would go try and tune his drums, and I would ruin them, just terribly kill the tuning. But what I would often do is it would sound like this. It would be like these 2 different, you got a top head and a bottom head on a tom drum, and if you tune them wrong, they kind of beat against each other a little bit. And that Congo sound has a little bit of that, it rings out, and it feels a little wrong in a cool way, wrong in the right way. Play it again.
Yeah.
Let me just hear a little bit of that. Yeah. I'm getting flashbacks. Dad, I'm sorry. I tried to do drums every 3 weeks. You had to fix them.
Do you want to hear it in the mix?
Yeah, let's pop them in the mix and see what they're doing.
Okay.
5 eggs for breakfast, I'm a rich man. Protein to help me go kill them. You gon' know it's by a trail of death. Severed head on my leg. Money, money. I don't give a fuck about the money. Money.
Yeah.
All you motherfuckers look.
Really simple, really effective, really great, just nice layers, In fact, you know what? I'm gonna divert us for a second, a little bit of a tangent here, because we are on the Reason Livestream, and because this is a Reason audience. Could I ask you to sort of give us the ever so quick education of arcade and kind of how, like, the lay of the land, the concept. I mean, I think people might know the gist that it's sample packs that come out on the regular. I mean, that's correct for me to say, but could you sort of walk us through just like the home screen maybe, and kind of how you as an arcade user kind of interact with arcade?
Yeah, I mean, let's do it. All right, so on this page is just everything that's new, which is like, this is embarrassing, but like I do like to start here just because I'm like, oh, new, and then I just play them. Like you can just hear the previews like that, and if you like, it just shows you like what's in the pack.
Oh, so you're hearing sort of with the samples that are in the pack, right? Okay.
And if you like it, you download it.
Gotcha. And then that loads it, and you can.
Yeah,
you're
once you're in it, and you can save all your favorite stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in here. But once cha cha cha.
And I'm going to ask the ignorant question that I think I know the answer to anyway, but I'm just going to ask it. I'm seeing, for example, where it says the newest sampler kits there's like, I'm seeing beat. There's 4 beats there in that row. So that's, those are sample packs built off of the same sort of family of sounds. Is that, am I saying that kind of right? That like, you can expect that the beat things are going to be percussion related sounds and the hooked things are going to be like vocal hook elements and stuff. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, generally, so everything in that pack will be in a key, but if you're already working in a key, you can just put it into here and then lock it.
Oh,
and then
I see.
Everything that you play will be in the key of your song.
Oh, it sort of pre-transposes it for you into that key. Oh, that's clever. I like that. Yeah, that's a really nice way to kind of audition without having to really use your imagination too much to be like, what will this sound like once I load it and then transpose it? So, yeah, that's cool. So the beat, so you're using one of the beat family of sound packs in this idea, and you said something I like. You said it again with your, both your charming level of modesty that I hope to also break you of to let you own your power. You said you said something like, I'm ashamed, but I go to the what's new stuff, and I don't think there's any shame in that. I think that's why it's there, right? I mean, I think Output would probably say like, good, you go to what's new, good. That's why we stick it at the top, So, and I got to say, I mean, and I'm going to throw this out to the comment section as well for people watching. How many of us are like me in that when I go browsing for a preset, I honestly am not sure if I've ever selected, it's like Google results. Like I will find a sound within the first 12 sounds, whether it's what I set out to go looking for or not. It's like I just start auditioning and then I'll hear something. I'm like, ooh, that's cool. I'll just run with that. And so I think in a similar way, just jumping to what's new is like a total no-brainer there to go into the what's new section and just always kind of live with that stuff. A couple of people in the comments.
It's a good way to be in the moment because you're not attached to. You don't have sounds that you're like, oh, I know what I would want to do with these.
Right. Right. Exactly. Little comments stuff going on. 15 Size says I haven't used arcade yet. Stephanie says arcade is the shit. So there you go. In fact, he says 80% of beats got arcade in it. I think that is I'm going to assume not a scientific analysis, but certainly an anecdotal analysis. So M9, feeling a little triggered. Is this an arcade live stream now? No, M9. It is a Yana Mahal live stream, and Yana Mahal uses arcade and Reason in a lot of her stuff. And since we just bundled them, we're taking a look at it. So there you go. But let's see. Cooking. I'm looking for see what Cookie and Tune looks like he was saying. Sorry, Cookie and Tune. You're picking up on a comment from earlier, and I don't know what you're replying to. So he says, well, maybe it'll make sense. It means you're looking for something. No shame on that. Oh yeah. Right. He's talking about the going to the what's new section. It means you're looking for something, and there's no shame in looking for something new and cool and inspiring. I agree. Yes. So by the end of this live stream,
Yana,
it's
like, what does the universe have to offer me today?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. and it's funny you say, what does the universe have to offer me today? Because it literally is on the daily, right? I mean, that what's new section for Arcade changes every day. They put out new stuff every day. So much like, which I'll just mention since I don't want M9 to get worried here. It's also a Reason live stream, and the Reason Plus Companion also we're dropping sound packs on the regular as well. So there's a very similar thing in the Reason Plus Companion in terms of new sound packs and stuff. So okay, so let's take a look at what else is going on in this track. Is there's some other other arcade stuff?
So there's a little downlifter right here. Sometimes you have to be patient.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nice.
From the Prophecy pack.
That's got some nice, a lot of downlifters, well, not a lot, but oh. Wait, what happened there?
Fun.
So it downlifts and then it uplifts.
Yeah.
I gotta hear it again. I talked over it. Here it comes. Interesting. Yeah.
And then just a
lot of downlifters, at least in my experience when I've grabbed like splice sample downlifters and stuff like that, a lot of times because I gravitate towards the ones that don't have any movement in them. They just go like it's a smooth sort of thing. Because if you're working in a song at 112 and the sample was from a song at 134, that pulsing will often not work. I can only imagine that Arcade is clever about actually making it so that pulsing is matching your tempo.
Yeah, you want to hear it in the
Let's put it in the and let's back up a little bit so we can kind of hear how it leads in. Mm-hmm. Brian,
sorry, were you gonna say something?
I was going to just answer. Brian Dunk asked, "Is Arcade just a load of drum and melodic loops? Any single hits?" There's single hits, right? Like single, you get like what? Just single little vocal samples or single instrument.
Yeah,
hits?
absolutely. And now you can actually play. You can actually play it on a keyboard, which is I think new.
Right.
Arcade.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So let's take a listen to how this is.
Money, money, I don't give a fuck about the money. Money, money, all you motherfuckers look.
If I got a penny for each tear I cry, I'll be a rich woman.
That's so cool. That little last tail uplifter thing is actually a really nice tail there. Is that my phone going off? Oh, it is. My gosh. Was this my first day on a live stream? Come on. That is, it's really nice with that little whoosh, just at the very end. With a sample, what is that? If I had $1 or whatever it is.
Oh, that's not that's not a sample. That's actually one of my collaborators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's I like to have dudes singing my backup dancers on the tracks. I have a lot of like guys like singing.
Is that a line that you wrote and had someone perform, or is that a line that he wrote to kind of add to your?
I think everything happened so fast in the session. There's a lot of it like ideas, and then it's like, oh yeah, do that.
Right.
I made this song with Daniel Adinsky and Jordan Atkins Loria and an Airbnb in Topanga.
Get out of here! Really?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Was it like just to like let's like bunker up and like make some music in a kind of like creative collab Airbnb session?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly like that. He had just moved to Texas to have you heard of Sonic Ranch? It's like the biggest music studios in the US.
I should have heard of
something
them.
like that.
Okay.
Biggest meaning like it's like on a, oh my god, I'm gonna mess up the blah, blah, blah. My brain's not working. Sorry. It's on a humongous pecan farm. Like
Okay.
it's huge and it's like right on the border of Mexico. We went there to make music. It's really cool. But
That's right. It sounds like the city of Kiruna. This is random trivia that is not important, but the city of Kiruna in Sweden is the largest city in the world, not because it's actually like bigger than Manhattan or Tokyo, but what they did is they took this little tiny city way up north in Sweden and they drew the city limits as this like huge like circle of land around it, just so that they had like the biggest city in the world status, even though the actual like it's just like acres and acres of nothingness. So it sounds like they're doing the same thing. Biggest studio complex in the world, but kind of mostly pecans.
yeah, mostly pecans. Yeah, but so we had like he came for just a short trip and we were gonna make some songs and then we were just on fire. You know, sometimes the tap is just on like that.
Yeah.
So we like got an Airbnb for a few days and then got another. I think we probably went to like 5 different Airbnbs and extended it like 2 weeks, just like trying to like look for a place where
Wow.
we wouldn't get the cops called on us. So Topanga was good because it's a little more rural out there.
Right, that's right.
It's like space between the houses.
That is, and it's true. Like you can't underestimate the value of being in a place where you can be loud without having to worry about,
Oh my God.
getting narked out by your neighbors.
Yeah, no, I used to record in a 1-bedroom, it's not a 1-bedroom, a studio, and just like record in the closet.
Yeah.
And I think most of them were studios, so it's just like you're just on somebody's bedroom, like every wall.
Right.
So I could only play the volume. No, I couldn't play volume out loud at all. So I could only be in headphones. And then it was actually after I went to the ranch that I was like, yo, I need a studio.
Gotcha. I want to, I want to play back something because Pralaya made Pralaya, by the way, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If I'm not, my apologies. But they made a comment, and I want us to play this again and listen to it. They said, that male vox is out of tune, out of key, exclamation point. And then while you and I have been talking,
Yeah.
they commented again, Ryan, that male vox is out of tune, out of key.
On purpose.
Yes. So I want us to look at that again and really kind of, because like you're not an idiot. You know what's in tune and what's not. And so there's a creative decision at play here. And so I want us to play it again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really easy way to make it in tune.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. It's like
called
not like
auto-tune.
It's not like we don't have the tools to fix that. So and you just missed that. So let's play it again. I want us to hear that vocal.
Oh, should I play it in the mix or solo?
Yeah, in the mix. Play in the whole mix, just like we had first heard it with the downlifter.
If I got a penny for each tear I cry, I'll be a rich woman. If I got a penny for each tear I cry, I'll be a rich woman.
Credit score, break.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So are there elements of that are out of tune in a like classic sense? Yeah. But is that by accident? No. So what, for you, what was the creative decision to like?
It makes you feel something.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
It's like, why is this dude singing about being a woman right now, right here?
Right. And
I mean, that it made that person feel something so much they commented twice. You feel me?
what a great way to put. Yes, that's right. Right. Like sometimes that is kind of art is to provoke, and if it provoked a reaction twice, 4 different exclamation point strings, that's it's doing something. So even if you don't like it, it's doing something, But I think it's really cool. What it did for me was it made me assume that you had gone crate digging and found some cool old sample. Like it really reminds me of, I'm going to go like a little bit too 90s here for everyone's taste, but it reminds me of like early Moby in the way that he used to grab these old samples that I mean, by the nature of what they weren't tuned, and they were just kind of these kind of weird moments, and it really has that kind of vibe to it. So, and yeah, so people are chiming in. It's intentionally out of key. And again, now guys, let's actually be clear here. It's not out of key. It's not in a different key.
It's just not perfect.
It's just not perfectly snapped into, particularly it's that, if I, like that first little one, like if you put that up on a pitch graph, it's not locked into a thing. But that one, if I had money, that note is right. So, it's not out of key.
And he's an amazing vocalist, and this is probably like some of the weirder things that
I love it.
One of I mean, it's probably my favorite thing that he's recorded, to be honest.
And Cookie and Two
I
says,
just love it.
Cookie and Two says it definitely makes the energy come back stronger. That is also true. Like, you come out of your vocal, which has that, like, I don't know what sort of fire in your belly you have that makes that Yana like, thing. Then it goes to him, and he's sort of floating in a cloud of whatever. And then it comes back hard again. It really makes it feel nice. David Lilia says, Ryan reminds me of Thievery Corporation. I could see that. That makes sense. But Tokyo Trap says, I get it. I can hear that in a nightclub. Yeah. Brian Dunk was referred to it as a happy accident. I don't even know if it's a happy accident. This might just be the way you guys were feeling it in that moment. Like, let's do something kind of nice and chill and loose. Cooking 2 says, it's called dissonant, I think. Yeah, again, I don't even know if I would call this dissonant. We are also, I had this moment when I listened recently, and when I say recently, I mean within the last 7 years. But in the modern era, I put on and listened to Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, like front to back, like for the first time in 25 years or whatever. Like, it's not an album I listened to. But I put it on. I was like, I'm going to revisit this album. And the thing that struck me more than anything else is that shit is out of tune. Like, she is, like, not... I mean, because it's pre-auto-tune, And there were some things you could have gone through the old Eventide harmonizer and really tweaked it. But they didn't. And it didn't register in 1994 when you listen to that album. You didn't hear it as out of tune because everything was just a little bit out of tune. It was, Pearl Jam was out of tune. Nirvana was out of tune. Like, everything was kind of out of tune. But when you listen to it in the modern era, we are so used to tuned, quantized, perfected vocals that we start applying these words like dissonant and out of tune to a vocal that's actually not, like, it's not out of tune, guys. But anyway, I appreciate what you're saying. You are recognizing the vibe that it has. That's certainly true. So, cool. Well, listen, Yana, I'm talking your ear off. I'm hanging out here. We're looking at this tune, but you've got, I think, another track.
Yeah, should we move on?
I mean, maybe. Is there something?
Yeah, let's. No.
Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to let you kind of get that ready. I'm going to talk to the folks over here in the chat. In fact, here's an interesting one. Seth, I tuned my whole Reason template to 432 hertz. Been that way for 2 years now. Does anyone else do that? I have heard people talk about doing that you take, in the Reason preferences, and this is true probably of many DAWs, you can set what your kind of, the frequency, the tuning frequency by which your whole music and all the whole sound engine is running. So the standard is A440, but some people tune that down to A432, 432 hertz. I can't entirely remember why. There's people that have these very philosophical reasons why 432 resonates better than 440. And Seth, if you're one of those people, let us know in the comment. It would be, in fact, Seth says, damn, that was my secret. I didn't want to tell people. You're not alone, Seth. I mean, other people do that as well. But I would be interested to know, because I know some people get into sort of like, it gets really like, almost like this holistic concept of like the vibrating frequencies at 432 are more in tune with them. You can tell that I don't really know the real answer, but there's something to that. And it gets into some people who get into binaural beats, get also into the idea of finding what your, don't always assume 440. What I also know though, is that the poor people with perfect pitch, because if you have dead on perfect pitch, apparently you can be driven nuts by listening to a song that's like just slightly flat the entire time. So fortunately, that's not too many people in this world. But to those people that are 100% spot on, then yes, that can really drive you nuts. Anyway, a couple other things here. Logic does that too. Yeah, I think a lot of DAWs do that. Rafak says, I love those live stream, pretty natural and fresh. Oh wait, that's not. This is one. Do you mean this one, the one you're watching, those live stream, or is that somebody else's live stream? I'm going to take that as a compliment, whether you meant it from me or not. A couple other comments. I'll just throw these out here. Is that a Neumann? Short answer. Mostly. It's a Neumann U47 with some a few modern parts as well because it's a 60-year-old mic. So let's see. Adam Neely has a great video on A432, so there you go. And yes, Seth says it's a spiritual thing. Okay, so yeah, so it's people go if you're interested in retuning your songs like Seth does, go check that out. But I'll tell you now, Seth doesn't want you doing that because that's his secret. So he let the cat out of the bag. Yana, I'm back with you here. Okay, so do we have another tune up here we can pull up?
Yeah,
you got it pulled up. So what do we got? What are we looking at here?
Well, we got another Reason Studios live stream exclusive.
Oh, nice.
From Yana Mahal. It's actually like so new that I haven't even named it yet.
Oh, cool. I see it up the top. It says Tell Me. So we shouldn't refer to the song as Tell Me.
Tell Me, do you? Well, yeah, it'll have a new name, I hope.
Okay, cool. Well, let's take a listen. You want to take a listen?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's take a listen. Oh, no.
Ah!
Sorry. Ah! Sorry if I just blew everyone's eardrums. Okay.
You did not. It was fine.
Darling got me easy in my mind. Feeling like I'm crazy in a bind, and I'm just smoking just to pass up all the time. Unbelievable how you drive me crazy. Another episode on Whoop. I'ma set it up, give a damn what they say. I'ma keep it coming on you.
And this one is true. Know that I like what I do. Giving them something new. I'm in a groove. I spent my childhood in jail. Y'all not gon' see me in jail. Oh yeah. You were my best friend. Switching lanes, even good things end. Now we're back. Hold me to the end. Tell me, do you want to? Tell me, do you need to? 'Cause I do. Baby, do you want that? Please say. Tell me, do you want that? Feel that? I don't want to leave you. Take me where the breeze go, breeze through. I'ma need a rider. You and me won't be a problem. You gotta make ends meet. You never meant nothing but dreams and the setbacks. You go and regret that. I see what you are, but I needed to break that. I needed to go much faster. I needed to get in my basket. I need you to go out the way, but you know it's all love, 'cause I'm yours at the end of the day. You were my best friend. Switching lanes, even good things end. Now we're back. Hold me to the end. Tell me, do you want to? Tell me, do you need to? 'Cause I do. Baby, do you want that? Please say. Tell me, do you want that? Feel that? I don't want to leave you. Take me where the breeze go, breeze through. I'ma need a rider. You and me won't be a problem. You could be married maybe someday. You could be in love and still you won't stay. You could be the one to keep me running back, but I don't wanna go in the first place. You ain't never knowing what you got left. Bet you know we going to the top, love. Finna lose control, need a doctor. And you know I'm known for this hot stuff. Go and get your sauce up. You were my best friend. Switching lanes, even good things end. Now we're back. Hold me to the end. Hey, babe, drop that line, drop that. Take that fine ass on back. You know it what you like, but you hold back. I wanna live and die for you so bad. I'm always living high, but you don't mind. Always gotta drive with the boom back. You gon' make me crash when you doing that. I don't wanna crash, but you tell me, do you want to? Tell me, do you need to? 'Cause I do. Baby, do you want that? Please say. Tell me, do you want that? Feel that? I don't want to leave you. Take me where the breeze go, breeze through. I'ma need a rider. You and me won't be a problem.
I withheld making noises during it because I didn't want to mar. There might be people that actually rip this and just to hear the song again. They might just clip that part out, and throw it into their playlist or something. So I didn't want to go, hey, this sounds really good over top of the. But my God, that is cool. And the chat agrees. Digital Crate says heat. Michael Felice says her voice sounds like a horn right there, which I think in a cool way. I don't think you mean it like a.
I love horns, so I'm gonna take it as a compliment.
Absolutely,
I do.
Absolutely.
Some triumphant horns always get me. That's actually
Right?
a joke amongst my friends. I'm like, yeah.
Lazy Fish says goosebumps. Wow, goosebumps. So yeah, and I'm gonna actually scroll up here. Let's throw because again, you don't see these when you've got Reason or rather you've got Live open.
I don't see them at all because
You're
I
not
was
gonna see
nervous.
them, so-
I was like, I don't want to.
But you're gonna if you watch it back, you'll see them. I'm throwing them up on it. But evacuation status throws out fire emojis. There was lightning emojis from Blaze FM. There were some people saying we should take a poll here to name the tune, and then someone else pointed out, never poll the internet for a name or you'll end up with Toonie McToonface. I think that is probably true. But
That's a good name.
Jeremiah,
Call it that.
Jeremiah says, wow, wow, wow. Nice tone. Somebody else mentioned your vocal tone as well. Where was that? I saw it and I threw it up when it happened. I lost it. But yeah, someone was really liking your vocal tone. This sounds nice. I love the sound. Sounds good. Fire emojis. Yeah, I mean, so, rave reviews from the peanut gallery for whatever that means. And let me tell you something.
Thanks, guys.
The folks in the chat are not, they don't bullshit you. If they don't like it, they'll
I've
they'll
noticed.
say so. they'll let you know. So if you're getting compliments from them, you can take that to the bank. So
Yeah, and I noticed you let me play the whole song through, so
I did.
thought you liked it.
It's funny. We got one comment. Bro, is he reading emojis? Yes, I'm reading emojis. I'm reading them because Yana can't see them, so I have to do it. This is like I'm reading them out loud. You should be happy that I'm not imitating them. I'm not going like lightning emojis. That'd be even lamer. So take it for what it's worth. Cookie and Tune says you should name it Best Friend. That's an interesting concept. Yeah. So here's the thing with that.
I like Toonie McToonerson.
Toonie McToonface.
Toonie McToonface.
There's before we kind of dig into it a little bit, something about your style. Can I ask the ignorant question of what you would call this vocal style? It's this thing that I hear all the time that I never actually, I don't know if I've ever heard the term for it, which is basically, it's the cadence and the approach to lyrics that rap has with the melodic influence of pop and songwriting. It's like this fusion, but it sort of sounds like you're rapping to a melody. I mean, I'm right now sounding like the most out of touch dad describing music ever. But is there a name for that style, or is that just the style, the way people? It's just a style. Maybe the chat can answer me.
Sing rap?
Yeah, I don't know. But it's like a thing. You know what I mean? Like there's like straight ahead just rap, obviously, which is you're not pitching at all. Then there's singing where you're just pitching all the time and you're holding notes and you do. But then there's this, which is like here's the other element of this that is very common to this style, whatever the name for it is. And please, guys, let us know if there's actually a name for this. A lot of times there's a lot of a rhyme schemes. You'll like if you were to play this back, there's a lot of times where you're rhyming one word 5 times in a row, one line after another. It's not like it's just rhyme, line, rhyme. All lines end in the same word rhyme, if that makes sense. No destination.
Yeah, so you want to know how I... Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say you want to know how I do my rhymes because I used to...
Yeah.
It's actually one thing that's improved with my newer... Yeah, the approach that I have now to songwriting. Whereas I'm not like making a poem and then turning that into a song. Mm-hmm. I'm creating the melody, but I'm also, what you said, the vocal cadence. What I do is I record myself creating that melody, but I use like completely gibberish words. I think you saw that in the
Yes.
the one that Jordan posted. There's
The
like
Muffin
a
on
little
Muffin Island.
Yeah, that was like the cadence for it. And so it's also a really good way for me to just be more allowing and not look at it as coming from me, but really coming through me, in that I just use it as a map to translate what came out at the time. So I'm not really writing it. And I don't go into anything with like, oh, I'm going to make a song about sha sha sha. I mean, sometimes that's fun to do with people if you have an idea that feels exciting to everyone, because that shared energy is fun. But usually that's how I approach. Yeah, I don't even approach it conceptually. I'm just like, this is the feel. And then I translate it. And then that's how you get those rhymes, because that's where I rhymed it when I made the melody.
Interesting. So the comments, they're saying, I don't know if we can trust them, but they're saying it's called sing rap. All right. Patty says sing rap. Someone else called it. Sing rap, or No Destination calls it rap sing. So, okay, maybe it's just someone else had
I call it hot fire.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what Dwayne says. He just posted fire emojis. So, and yes, I'm reading out emojis, Oba Noodle. Yes. But wait, there was another one I thought was funny. They said the style is called fresh, which I guess really is what it is. You know? Oh yeah, Ian says it's a style known as quote fresh.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of what's up.
Boy, Ian.
But yeah, there's some people are mentioning, Bobby Shmurda, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Post Malone. There's, for sure it's a thing. I mean, I asked it because I've heard the style so much and I love it, and it's like I just don't know. I'm surprised that we don't all have an agreed upon name for it yet, but maybe we do. Maybe it's just called rap sing.
Sing rap.
Or sing rap. Yeah.
Sing rap, sorry.
Yeah. It could be, David thinks it might be called Toonie McSong Rap. That is not true, David. Don't troll us. Patty says, Brabble voice? Is that really? I don't know if that's true. Brabble voice. Maybe I'm...
Sounds like Brambleberry.
It's called Brambleberry.
That's one of my favorite ice creams. Shout out Jenny's.
Oh, Jenny's is good ice cream. Yeah, Cookie and Two says it's called Yana Mahal style. Ain't that true? So
Yeah.
Well, so let's dig in like we did before. What is kind of?
So let's start with the what I started with, which was
what you actually started writing to. You mean like the sound that kind of kicked off the idea?
Yeah. So let's open this up. And solo. And this is just algorithm.
Yeah. I love algorithm. I can't say it enough.
Yeah, plug that shit.
I really do. Again, it's always weird because I'm like, when I work with Reason, it's hard for me to be an objective fanboy, but my God, just as a Reason user and a musician, I really love this synth. So, okay, so we've got, wait, the steel drum thing, is that what? Mm-hmm. No, wait, let's I gotta shut up and listen to it.
Well, there's a layer on top of that too.
Oh, cool,
But this
okay.
is what I started with.
This is what you started with, okay.
Uh-huh. And then, well, there's actually a couple layers on top of that, so let's open up this
Invasion,
one.
just a comment I'm throwing up. Invasion says she needs to be, I think he means signed. He wrote she needs to be singed, but I think signed is I think where he's going.
All right, and then this on top of that, let's just scoot this over. This is a friction.
And that's doing the same note pattern. Mm-hmm. That's a weird version of friction. Sunken orchestra. I don't think I've ever used that preset before.
Friction is so cool. I don't even understand how they're not samples.
Right. Right. I mean, it's physical modeling. It's a weird. It's a technology that you and I aren't meant to understand as mere mortals.
No.
It's just a weird geek DSP thing where they've figured out how to write in code form the way a acoustic instrument sounds, and then you can do stuff like this. That's kind of what's cool about physical modeling is you can do that, which is not a real instrument, Mm-hmm. In fact, Yana, in the upper right corner, could you just turn up the volume on friction there? The big volume knob in the orange section. This is weird. It's got a neat. I don't know how it blends. In fact, can we solo that along with the hang drum? Okay.
Wait, sorry, what did you want me to solo it with?
The hang drum, the other reason, the algorithm.
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Just those two, yeah. I'm just listening to it. Ian asks, does anyone say algorithm the way it's spelled? I sometimes do, Ian. I think I still call it algorithm because life's too short to make a weird rhythm with my mouth. Yeah, that is a cool. I mean, that's a cool vibe. So that is when I first heard the song, I was like hearing the steel drum thing. Are those the? Is there another layer that makes that even more steel drummy, or is that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Right up here. So this came in after I made the song on it because it needed something. And sometimes that just becomes evident. I mean, I really make everything with the idea that it's probably all going to change, and sometimes we keep those elements.
I gotcha. By the way, that's a really healthy. You have that with your lyrics, and you have that with your music as well. That's really healthy. Like everything's subject to change. It's all.
Yeah, well, it's intentional.
And that's great. I mean, because
the other way is not healthy.
Right. There's I love this idea, and anyone watching that doesn't embrace this, like, try this with your music. The concept that literally everything in your song is negotiable and doesn't have to be there, and could be removed at any point, and you just don't have to be precious about it. And sometimes that's the right call. And sometimes even just thinking it and going, no, that should be there, is the way that you can really commit to what is crucial and important. I got to throw this out there. What we're seeing here, people have been watching the stream since the beginning. Mimic, basic vibe. There it is again. This is a modified version of the default preset as well. So we're on to you, Yana. We see how this works. You're a modifier of the.
Cutting out.
Oh, am I cutting out? Am I back?
For me, you were. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, cool. So let's take a listen. What is the Mimic bringing to the table in terms of its layer on this sound?
All right, let's take a listen.
Ah.
A little more tropical.
That's some serious steel drum. What I loved about this when the song started, is it sounds like it's going one way. Like when you use a steel drum sample, you're sort of telegraphing to the world, like, all right, we're about to do a kind of tropical island vibe, in the same way that if you used, a Middle Eastern instrument, you might sort of be telling everyone, okay, we're going to do something in a kind of, it's going to have a little bit of a Eastern world music vibe to it. And what I like is the song doesn't go that way. It's like it sets up that sort of expectation, and then it goes somewhere else entirely. It goes into sort of just the Yana vibe. In fact, how possible is it to unsolo everything and just hear kind of the opening?
Easy.
Now I'm hearing the full stack of those.
Now it is.
Darling got me easy in my mind.
Yeah.
Feeling like I'm crazy in a bond, and I'm just
that's
smoking just
Jordan
to pass
singing
up
the
all
intro?
time.
No!
That's not me. That is a real dude. Does he sound good?
Hang on a second.
What they say, I'ma keep it coming on you.
This is Jordan Atkins
This
Gloria
is me.
singing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that Jordan sang. In fact, I'm
On the Yana Mahal project, he does.
It sounds really good. He should do more. But wait, now you gotta play
He's
that
got
back
a cool
now.
voice.
Yeah, now.
You want to hear it again?
Yeah, rack it up, because
so
I
this
also
is like,
I talked over the transition in
and
you too.
I did write these words for him.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm thinking about just what you said earlier on the last track. You said I like to get dudes to sing on my songs. It's kind of I'm
Yeah,
catching this
'cause
now.
it puts in like that contrast.
Yeah, right.
And he's a little more like masculine sounding in this one because, and that still contrasts, I think, because I come in so I'm like at a really high pitch for me in this song.
Right. Yes, right. And it does, I have to say, I was going to remark on that you're singing in your higher register, which does something different with your voice than when you're, forgive me for imitating your voice, but like when you're down low, you've got that more, like it's like a beeper kind of thing. And then when you're singing high, it's a different thing. You know, I'm not even going to try and do the high version of your voice. The low version was
I'd
already
like to
enough
hear
of
you
a
do the high
train wreck.
version of it.
Okay, so let's play. I want to hear the contrast between him and you.
Done got me easy in my mind. Feeling like I'm crazy in a bind, and I'm just smoking just to pass up all the time. Unbelievable how you drive me crazy. Another episode on Whoa. I'ma set it up, give a damn what they say. I'ma keep it coming on you.
And this one is true. Know that I like what I do. Giving them something I knew. I'm in a groove. I spend my childhood in jail. Y'all not gon' see me in jail. Oh yeah. You were my best friend. Switching lanes.
Michael says you've got a Gwen Stefani type sound. I wouldn't have thought of that, but it's actually, I get what he's saying. Like, Gwen has a, I don't know what you want to call it, but like there's that like,
Kind of like a steely punk sound.
yes, what a great combination of words. Yeah. A couple of questions here. Michael Felicis and Rock Hill says, who's this Jordan fellow? Who's Jordan? Good point. We shouldn't assume that everybody knows. He's not like Cher. It's not a one-name kind of celebrity.
Formerly known as Lucky Day.
Right. So Jordan
One of
Atkins
the OG.
Lauria. That's right, OG. Jordan Atkins Lauria used to produce under the name DJ Lucky Date. He used to make refill packs that are still fantastic refill packs if you can grab them out there. I don't know if he still sells them or not, but he used to sell these refill Electro Pop Volume 1 through 4 refill packs of combinators that he had made. And he used to make tutorials. I think he still does. In fact, I mean,
I'm going to plug Mr. Mango.
Yes. Okay. Right.
Mango. Yeah, so that's on YouTube, and there's a website. I think there's even stuff available for download for free, if I'm not mistaken.
So Mr. Mango,
and I'm gonna have stuff available to download for free very
Right.
soon too.
So Jordan, now working under the moniker Mr. Mango, is one of your collaborators on your stuff. So there's this overlap there that if people don't know Jordan by first name
You
alone,
guys don't know Jordan?
yeah, come on, guys. No, I mean it makes sense that
Jordy J on the track.
but yes, he is, like you say, an OG Reason user, and really like here 15th sign says it better. Jordan, aka Lucky Date, legend. Yes, he is a bit of a legend.
Yeah. In high school, I've known him for a long time. In high school, I used to call him Big Jizz. And he didn't like that.
I can imagine not loving that. in high
Jizzle
school.
turned into Big Jizz. Yeah.
It's one of those,
And then one of the artists he was managing turned that into like Big Jizz Man, Manage Man, Big Jizz Man.
a
It
question
became
from
a thing.
a question from Cooking Tune. Any songs in the Spanish or any songs that ever use Spanish words? Curiosity from the Peanut Gallery.
From me?
Here. Yeah, for you. Do you ever?
Yeah, I have actually written multiple songs in Spanish. I don't know, not recently, so
No.
I don't have them like easily available, but
Gotcha.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, technically it was my first language. I wouldn't even say that I'm fluent, but I understand everything.
I gotcha.
My mom's from Panama.
Gotcha. So a couple other people here. I'm just kind of housekeeping with some comments. Man, some people are getting triggered, Yana. You haven't updated to the latest version of Reason, and up at the top it says update available, and it's giving everyone OCD. So we'll have to,
Sorry,
for their sake, once we're done this live stream, you'll have to get a new. Hang on a second. Now I got to ban a spam bot that jumped in here. Jeez. Yeah, we'll have to update after the stream so everyone feels better. Just know, guys, she will update. It's cool. But anyway, yeah. So let's. Ban the spam. I did Octarine Drift. I just banned him. So let's take a look. Let's dig in a little more. So so we got like a stack of Reason instruments there. We've got friction, we've got algorithm, we've got mimic making up that vibe.
Yeah, and then I think we have some arcade sounds here. All right, so this pad, if I'm not mistaken, is... Sometimes it takes a second, and then I do this thing where I click, unclick, click, unclick, and it's really stressful. Okay. So,
you know, I mean, what people watching the stream don't realize is that moving around in your DAW when you're on a live stream there's this stressful element where it's like you do it all day long, every day, and then suddenly you do it on a live stream, and you forget, like, wait, where's the solo button?
Things feel different with a witness.
It does. It just really does. I know. There have been so many times where I will, like, you know, I'll go to do something on a live stream, and then I'll be like, my brain starts going, wait, you don't, where is it? Where's the thing you know that's there? It's not there. Oh my God. They're gonna think you don't know what you're doing. It freaks you out. Oh, geez, we got more spam. Come on, guys. I'm going to throw something out to the commenters here. I've been debating, there's a new function we can do on live streams where I can limit commenting only to people who are subscribed to the channel. And I don't do that, but let me just ask you guys, and let me know in the comments, what's your preference? Would you prefer that I activate that feature? Because what will end up happening is you would have to be subscribed in order to comment, but it would get rid of the sort of porn spam, basically, which is the stuff that pops up when we have this open format. So if you have a preference, let me know. Some of you watching might not be subscribed and may not want to be, although I wish you were. So I don't want to block people who want to genuinely participate. But at the same time, maybe it's a bummer with me having to kind of police the spam. So you let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's jump back here to Yana. Okay, so you've got, let's see. I'm just looking at some...
Jungle Malaise sound pack.
Oh, people are making the connection.
This is one where you can play the notes.
No, go ahead. Sorry, this is the one where you...
go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm trying to multitask with the peanut gallery comments. But so this is... Jungle Malaise. This is one of the ones you said, where you, where it's a sort of note-based. It's not just a series of samples. It's like an instrument, I mean, for lack of a better word.
Should we hear it?
Yeah, let's hear what it's doing.
Let me turn it up.
Yes, crank that.
Crank that. Slap that.
Yeah, and this is where I have to, like, if I could give some kudos to Output here. One of the things I love about the stuff that I've heard from them, even going back pre-arcade, you know, the Analog Strings, one of their plugins, and what other ones? There's the, oh God, I'm drawing a, see, this is one of those live stream moments where I'm drawing a blank on something that I wouldn't normally draw a blank on. Guys in the comments, let me know, what's that vocal plugin that they have of just like a bunch of different vocal samples? It's called something smart, and I can't think of it. Anyway, for as long as I've known Output, and this is absolutely true in arcade, what they do is they do these really kind of cool, like, heavily processed sounds where for someone, I'm going to say for someone like you, but I'm also going to say for anyone who isn't a sound designer, there's like 17 things and 45 different steps with those 17 things in order to make these sounds sound the way they do. And if you're just starting out, or if you're not necessarily concerned with sound design, it can be really, you just want that sound, or you want some kind of crunchy sound, but you don't want to have to build it up yourself. And Arcade and Output have always been so good about knowing how to do that for you. So Exhale, there you go. That's the one I was thinking of. Exhale, yes. And Exhale was one of the earliest examples of that I really experienced, where I was like, oh, there was certain, at the time when Exhale came out, there were certain like vocal sampled juggle styles that were really popular, but they were very elusive. Like if you wanted to do it. It's like, how do I do it? You gotta know the right effects. You gotta know how to pitch it and format shift, but you format shift after you pitch, and then you put the effect on, and then you format shift again, so you kind of get a weird format shift on the affected version. And like, there's a lot of steps and orders of operations to make those sounds work. And Exhale, Seth got it as well. Did a good job with that, and Arcade does as well. I'm talking a lot, but my point is, that's a cool sound. I think that's really what I'm getting at, is that's a cool sound. And I guess you thought the same thing because you heard it and you used it and you liked it.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we got some Reason.
Oh, okay. So doubling that? Same notes? Mm-hmm. Oh,
Just a little more bite. Oh, wait, let me...
Is this Reason only, or is this both?
This is just Reason.
Okay.
You want to hear both?
Not yet.
Here.
That's really cool. So now I'm sort of glad that I talked for a long time and rambled, because processed pianos in Reason is another one of these instruments where we came at this with the same almost outputian philosophy. You know, the sort of output idea of, we're going to take pianos, but we're going to process them in a series of kind of extreme ways, in ways that you Yana, or you the songwriter, you don't have to worry about. You don't have to get a piano and distress it. We'll distress it for you. And so it makes total sense that if you're pairing that Arcade sound with this Reason sound, that you went for processed pianos and Arcade, and they're both doing that same kind of, like, again, that like it gets you to the starting line right away rather than having to get yourself there from scratch. Let's hear them together.
Well said. They should pay you more, Ryan.
I'm clipping that part out. I'm going to put that in my...
Double
send that in all...
Triple it.
All at reasonstudios.com. We'll send an email out to...
All right, here's both. Oh, wait, sorry. I need to make them the same volume.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did a little volume.
Put them how they were, sorry.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Now, guys, I know it's a little quiet because it's sitting within a whole production, so just listen closely and I'll shut up. I love it. You know, can we hear it in the whole mix? Maybe, is it possible to... How many vocals? Is it just one vocal? Maybe is it possible to mute the vocal and kind of hear it as an instrumental?
Absolutely.
And then we'll bring the vocal in as well. It's great. It's great. It's just a really nice. So you're coming off of the, for people that, just to put this back in context, we have the intro, which is just that like really straight ahead steel drum island vibe that is sort of sending you in one direction, and then it goes in a different direction. Jordan's vocal comes in. Is this under Jordan's vocal, or you? Is this under your vocal by this point?
Oh God. I think it's me.
Unmute the vocal. Let's see what's happening.
See if I'm right.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Great. I'm glad it is, because I was about to make this point that when you bring in this Arcade and Reason bundle, if you will. I mean, I hate to use the name of this new Arcade bundle product that's out, but when you use them as a bundle, there, you're bringing in this really nice crunch to the sound. It's like a really, I don't know, it's like a density without weight. You're not making the whole track suddenly feel heavier. You're just making it feel denser. It's cool. It's cool. I really like
density without weight. I like that a lot.
Yeah, 15 side bass sound, nice and tight. Agree. Patty, love it. Yep. it's definitely a cool little development to come in as your vocal comes in. So you're switching gears from Jordan's vocal into yours. I like it. What I'm just spinning through here. Is there other layers?
Yeah, there's one more.
Oh, cool.
Actually, I think there's two more. Let's see. So, cha-cha-cha. I wish I hadn't smashed my coffee. Okay, so this one is friction. Let's solo it and bring it up.
Ooh. Interesting. You really are. It's cool. You're the friction stuff that you're using here is like not the traditional like. Oh, now friction can make a violin.
It sounds like a synth.
Yeah, it's like a weird sizzle synth or something. And just looking at kind of what's going on there, I'm going to zoom in on it for a second. It's a it's got this metal sort of dobro resonator as its resonating chamber, and you really can kind of hear. It's weird. It's a weird one, and I like that it's got kind of a softer attack as well, which when you put that against the other sounds, which have a very instant attack, you get basically this sort of after. How do I describe it? I describe it for the folks that are familiar with reverb. The same way the pre-delay works, where if you turn up the pre-delay on a reverb and you get the initial hit and then you get the after wash of the reverb, not, kind of coming as a secondary sound, I think this is probably doing a similar thing where the initial attack of those other sounds hit and then the wash of this kind of pops up. So it's cool. I'm sorry, Yana. I get excited by this stuff and I just start rambling about it, but I think it's really neat.
No, it's good.
I hope people are kind of taking. I just think that there's some neat ideas for people to take from this instead of just listening to these and appreciating them as music listeners. That's something anyone could do. Take two sounds, make one have a really strong attack, and make the other one have a really soft attack, and between the two of them, you get that sort of post-attack wash of the second sound coming in. That's just like, for anyone that's looking for a try this today music making tip, there you go. So, let's see what else is going on here. 420 BPM. Oh, I get it. I see what you did there, Rex. I see what you're saying. I was like, what? It's not that fast. Okay, cool. So, is there, what else is going on in here? Is there some other stuff, little
you want to hear
textural
the
elements?
sound before the drop?
Yeah.
Let me just cha-cha-cha.
Straight to Laserdisc. That throws me back. I had a Pink Floyd live concert on Laserdisc. This is the only Laserdisc I ever owned. Some people watching are going, what's a Laserdisc? Okay, let's take a listen. What is it doing?
It's just going.
Oh, cool. And it's...
Oh, and
is
I
it
have
also
this
doing
other
those?
thing
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I just.
So it's literally just doing
unsolo.
Yeah, it's that. Cool. Play it.
Yeah.
Can we play it in the context of everything?
Mm-hmm. Oops. Let me just.
Another episode on Whoop. I'ma set it up, give a damn what they say. I'ma keep it coming on you.
And this one is true. Know that I like what I do. Give it.
So it's just that.
It's perfect. It is, as some of these sort of one shots that come via arcade and are spread out across their sound packs are perfect for those that it's like it's when you need something weird to happen to move the song along, like you don't need You don't need a new melody. You need a new weird. I don't know what you call that. In fact, actually, I do know what you call it. Wait, I've talked to a producer once. He referred to this, exactly what you're doing here, as what he called Star Wars mixing. And he was saying that when you're working on a song, you need to like fire off lasers now and again for the listener. Like you got the song going, and then you just have like these little moments where like something fires off that kind of like piques the ear a little bit. And this is a perfect little like just, and that's it. And that's all it does. In fact, if I'm looking at the song correctly, it only happens once in the whole song. Is that true?
No, it actually happens 3 times.
Oh, it's that lower. Okay, it's the one. I gotcha.
I opened up the arcade from here because these are frozen because
I gotcha. I gotcha. It's cool, and I love it's called Train Whistle, which I think it is. It kind of does have a train whistle effect. Play it again. I want to hear it just again underneath there.
Yeah.
I'ma keep it coming on you.
And this one is true. Know that I like what I do. Giving up.
Yeah, I love it. There was someone who had a good comment. Let me just find. Oh yeah. G Music High. I'm going to assume this is the correct pronunciation there. Yana, how do you come up with these great sounds? Is there an idea before you get started? Are you going out searching like let's take this as an example. Did you go, we need a crunchy train whistle here, and you went out in search of it, or did this happen?
I just wanted to sound like for the drop, just something exciting, and it wasn't like that I specifically wanted a train whistle, but that is something that is so cool about arcade is that, it's just easy to find stuff like that.
Gotcha. So you went out in search of a something, and arcade is full of a bajillion somethings, and then you found some. I gotcha. Would this have been the classic case of you going to the What's New and just pulling open taped and being like, that'll do? Yeah?
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
And is that true also of some of the earlier, like, to sort of expand on their question, it's kind of, I'm going to bring it up again. Is there an idea before you get started? Are you, like even the early genesis of this song, would you have sort of been looking to, did you have a song in mind and you went out looking for like, oh, I want to start kind of with a like percussive kind of like chords, but kind of in a boom, 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 boom thing? Or did you just, you landed on a sound?
No, my brain doesn't work like that. No.
Okay.
I would just make sounds and then I'm like, this.
You would have landed on like the algorithm sound, and then from algorithm, that part came about. Is that kind of the correct?
It's really just like how I'm feeling in the moment, and as you probably know, like the longer you work on a song, that's subject to change.
Yeah.
Like what BPM you're feeling, and just depending on your energy levels and the vibes, like what emotions are in your body.
Right.
So
I think it's a really healthy. I'm going to dwell on this just for a second because I think it's a really healthy attitude for some people. Anyone who is not. How do I describe this? Well, we'll frame this in the great eternal debate about presets and not presets, and are presets cheating, and are they taboo? And you are unashamedly, and I think it's safe to say that tools like Arcade and Reason Plus sound packs are based around a certain type of creator like you who doesn't look at presets as taboo. You look at them as songwriting.
Seamless creation.
Yeah. And I think I always, when I talk with the Reason community, I talk to the full spectrum of creators. And sometimes I talk to people who they come at it from the sound design standpoint. They come at it from somewhat the old school mentality of you got to build every sound up yourself. You've got to own the sound from the first waveform to the last effect, and it's all you. And then sometimes I talk to people that have that mindset, but they feel stuck. And I always try and go like, hey, maybe try the other way,
Yeah, I mean, I have so much respect for people that can do all of the crazy things, but you got to just be true to yourself and what you are, and you can definitely develop those skills, but it just depends on how you want to allocate your time.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's 100% true. And also, I will say that sometimes there's a hybrid approach. If by dissecting someone else who's built up these sounds, you can actually you can learn your own sound design by looking at someone else's finished sound design, and that's true certainly in Reason Plus, where you can open up the Combinator and look at how the sound was made and all the programming that went into it. And it's also true, even in fact, if you just drag Arcade up on screen here, just to take this one example, Arcade has these interface elements, these faders. They've got them curved there, and just through exploring those, you can start to understand the elements of sound design. I mean, late verb, warble, echo, like they're named, in ways that are both sort of cluing you into what they're doing, but they're also kind of in a nice human, relatable way. Mm-hmm. I just love when sound designers also become teachers in a way, So I think people who people get into tools like this probably will find they end up doing actually more sound design later down the road because they've been learning along the way from using pre-sound designed tools. So anyway, Temple of Leela, are you marketing Reason or Arcade and Ableton? I'm just talking about making music. Come on. Oh boy. Yes. Okay. They think I'm marketing too much. All right, guys, I'll shut up. I can't be enthusiastic without sounding like I have an agenda. So I guess I'll lay off it. But let me tell you, if anyone grabs me, if I'm at an event and anyone is talking to me and there's nobody watching on a stream, I say the same shit. I talk the same way because it's the way I feel about music making. But anyway, listen, Yana, we have kept you on a live stream now for almost 2.5 hours. We did it again, like our tech setup. We had like a nearly 3-hour call on our tech setup. Yeah. We're headed in that direction again. And
it's a good flow. I really enjoyed talking to you.
I want to be mindful of your time. So we're gonna I guess wrap up here for people. But I wanted to first of all give you an opportunity to really kind of hype your music project for people that have been enjoying what they're hearing. Let's remind them again. Is YouTube the correct place to go to start to connect with you and follow you? Is that kind of the best first move?
Yeah, absolutely. YouTube and Instagram, which right now is Ariana Valentina.
Okay, Ariana Valentina. So that'll be...
One N and Ariana Valentina, like Valentine.
Right, okay.
That's not...
That'll be... Okay, so that's... But then at some point, you'll probably be moving over to...
It'll change,
Will it change just within that account, or will it be like, okay, everybody go follow at Yana Mahal now?
Well, I also have Yana.Mahal.
Okay.
And but I have my main name is gonna change to another
I gotcha.
name. Yeah, well, just follow me on something and I'll be posting stuff. I'm gonna have all of the handles soon. I actually do think that I had all the handles made, but yeah, I mean this just opened up this opportunity to do this with you guys, so I wasn't actually planning on debuting any of this stuff yet, but I got 7 albums ready to go. So as soon as I start dropping,
Yana, speaking on behalf of the entire Reason crowd watching, drop that shit now. If the 7 albums are like these 2 songs, the world needs your stuff. So I hope that stuff drops soon.
Thank you so much.
I, for one, will be following you over on YouTube, subscribing over on YouTube for sure. And in fact, you're going to be, just to repeat for anyone that missed this, you've got a video coming out, momentarily, I guess? I mean, basically.
Like now, as soon as we hang up.
And it's, what is it, a video, is it a track walkthrough or something, or?
It's just a real quick, how I make a song.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so check it out.
Okay, everybody. So listen, guys, we've got our next marching orders. We're gonna end this live stream. We're all gonna go over to youtube.com/Yana Mahal. We're gonna watch our video. We're gonna subscribe. We're gonna Subscribe to our IG. We are going to mobilize the fan base. It begins here today. So,
Thank you so much, Ryan. What a pleasure this has been.
oh my God, it's been so fun having you as a guest. In fact, Yana, I'm gonna make a request here. Often on live streams, I will look to the artist I'm talking to give us our outro music. So maybe we could use this song as the outro music for the stream here. And if you just kind of cue it up so it'll play the whole song without looping a section or whatever.
Yeah.
And when we go to say goodbye, you just hit play on that, and I'm going to be rambling over top saying goodbye to people. But before we do that, I'm going to just take a quick scan through the comments to see if there's anything else. Patty wants to say, can you write her artist name here in the chat? I'll do this. I'm going to bring our two-shot up here so you can see her artist name there, Patty, but I'll also write it in the chat.
And I'm like one of the most recent videos, right?
Yeah, so exactly. Oh, good point. I mean...
And I commented from my account on that video. I think you guys
perfect.
pinned it.
So there you go. For people that don't like searching, Yana did a video for us. That's how we even connected on all this stuff, was that Yana made a video for us. And it was like a little bit
on
of a
a whim.
On a whim.
Like, I'm just going to talk to the video real quick.
But it was awesome. And we all saw it and just loved it. And it went out on our channel. And so if you go to our Reason Studios YouTube channel, one of the most recent videos, like two back maybe, or 3 back, is going to be stuff. Patty says he found you. Okay, good. Leave links in the description. I'll do that too, Brian. So good call. I will definitely leave links in the description.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, Cookie and Tune. I'm waiting on the video. Absolutely. Seth Nitty, he's seen you on Mr. Mango's channel. So there you go. That's
hey.
You're already out there on the internet. So you're spreading your wings. The Yana Mahal project, 7 albums built up, ready to go, 7 years in the making. It begins today, and everyone watching can say they were here when it happened. So, cool. Why don't we cue up that outro music? And Yana, I'm just going to say a final goodbye to you. Just a little inside baseball here. Leave that track running, and when we're out on the other side of the stream, I'll hit you up, and we'll say our real goodbyes, even though I'm saying goodbye to you now. So this is our fake on-screen goodbye. Okay. We'll see you. Go ahead and cue off your song, and I'll say goodbye to the Reason community here.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Yana out.
Oh, I love this. Michael says, peace out, you muffins. He's already adopted the language, the Yana Mahal lingo.
Yeah, Muffin Squad.
So good. Guys, listen, when I started the stream, I was like, maybe we'll be on for an hour. I don't know. We'll just kind of, shoot the breeze, kind of talk about music a little bit. Here we are, 2.5 hours later. I could keep going. I could go another 2.5 hours easily. I imagine some of you guys could too. It's easy, with an artist who is inspired by the tools they use to make music. It's easy to talk to them. It's easy to get inspired. I hope you guys are also getting inspired by this. But listen, anyone who's been hanging out the whole time, and I see a couple of you guys in the chat that have been here since minute 1. Gold star, you've been sticking with us the whole time. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun too. Huge thanks to Yana Mahal. And just worth a mention, and I know some of you guys are going to flame me for marketing, but I mean, it is true that Reason and Arcade just came out. We just bundled together with Arcade. So if you're not subscribed to Reason Plus or Arcade yet, there's a deal to be had. I just mentioned it on a straight dollars saving standpoint. There's a deal to be had there by subscribing to the bundle of those two. You get both Arcade and Reason Plus. So go ahead, flame me. I deserve it, I'm sure, but I'm just going to mention that for you guys. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I had a blast, and I'm going to see you soon again on the Reason Livestream for sure. So take care. Go make some music.